Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're diving headfirst into a terrifying dark fable. We're talking black magic, unquenchable greed, and the kind of inescapable, bloody karmic justice that you just can't look away from. Today, we're unpacking a chilling story that maps out the precise, horrifying mechanics of a supernatural curse. And trust me, we'll see exactly what kind of ultimate price it extracts from those foolish enough to seek it. Okay, so let's kick things off with this incredibly ominous warning from the Aghori Baba. Manoj, think once. Doing this method is not easy, and leaving it after starting is not right either. It just brilliantly sets the stakes, doesn't it? Our protagonist, Manoj, has approached this dark mystic because he wants to be the richest man in his village. He wants the biggest house, the biggest business, the whole shebang. But the Baba is making it crystal clear right up front. This isn't some quick spell, it's a lifelong, unbreakable pact. So we're dropped right into the dead of night. It's 11 p.m., the village is dead quiet, and Manoj is out on the prowl. He's totally consumed by that desperate hunger for immense wealth we just talked about, and he's hunting for ancestral treasure. You know, in these old tales, massive fortunes were often buried underground in secret spots to hide them from bandits. Well, Manoj is absolutely determined to uncover one of these hidden stashes, literally by any means necessary. Section 1. Beginning of Terrible Greed. Let's see how this dark path actually starts. Manoj targets this specific large house. He sneaks right into the courtyard and spots two brothers, Mahesh and Suresh, just sitting there drinking and complaining. And the tragic irony here? They're actually whining because their dying father, Raghuvir, absolutely refuses to tell them where the family's ancestral wealth is buried. So while his own sons are totally distracted by their own greed, Manoj spots his window of opportunity. Now, I really want you to remember the exact mechanics of what happens next, because it's absolutely crucial for how our explainer wraps up later. Manoj climbs through a window, finds the helpless, sleeping old man, and without even a second of hesitation, completely severs his head. It's brutal. Covered in blood but running on pure manic ambition, he escapes into the night to deliver his gruesome prize straight back to the Aghori Baba. Section 2. Ritual of the Kapali Aghori. Okay, here is where things get methodical. The crucial point is that this dark magic isn't just random chaos. It's a highly structured, intensely unholy procedure. First, the Baba tells Manoj to burn the head in a sacred fire pit until it's literally just a skull. Then, he has to gather fresh cremation ashes and graveyard soil, rub them all over the skull, bury it, sit on a buffalo skin, and, get this, chant continuously for 21 nights without moving an inch. Just to make sure we're all on the same page, we really need to define what a Kapali Aghori actually is. We're not talking about your everyday mystic here. A Kapali Aghori is a master of dark arts who uses a human skull, specifically the skull of the person who actually knew the secrets they're trying to learn, to command spirits and perform dark magic. But, as Manoj is about to find out, this kind of immense power is bound by some incredibly strict, exhausting rules. So, for 21 nights, Manoj endures pure hell. We're talking horrific visions, terrifying demonic screams echoing in his ears, and massive biting insects literally drawing blood. But he doesn't move a single muscle. He proves his absolute, unflinching dedication to his own greed. And then, on the morning after that 21st night, the ritual is done. The skull starts to shine, and suddenly its empty eye sockets glow this piercing, demonic red. It's alive. Section 3. Boon of Dark Powers. Let's look at the immediate payoff. The demonic skull actually speaks directly to Manoj, pledging its service. When Manoj demands to know where the old man's wealth is hidden, the skull immediately spills the dead man's secret. It's buried under a banyan tree 50 kos away. Now, a kos is an ancient measurement, so that's roughly 100 miles. Manoj rushes there, digs into the earth, and unearths a massive copper pot just overflowing with gold and silver jewelry. He did it. He got exactly what he wanted. But here's the catch. Manoj's new existence is a terrifying double life. By day, sure, he's the king of the village. He owns massive wood factories and lives in total luxury. But the nighttime, it brings a heavy, dark curse. As soon as the sun sets, his skin turns completely blue. And from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. every single night, he's chained to a throne in a dark cave, forced to serve as a dark sorcerer for whoever comes knocking. His wealth was essentially purchased with absolute inescapable servitude. To give you a sense of what he does in that cave, For a measly 500 rupees, a man named Randir hires Manoj dark powers. Randir comes in seeking revenge on his own daughter-in-law, Nandini, because she cruelly kicked him out of the house so she could be with her lover. Manoj just takes the 500 rupees and promises the problem will be entirely handled before sunrise. Section 4. Terrifying Curse and Justice. Let's see this dark magic in action. From his cave throne, Manoj places his hand on the demonic skull and starts chanting. Miles away, Nandini wakes up in the middle of the night. She's sneaking out to meet her lover, but her own greed is about to be her absolute undoing. Out of the corner of her eye, she spots this mysteriously glowing piece of gold just resting on the edge of a deep, dark well. And like clockwork, she falls perfectly into Manoj's supernatural trap. The very second she kisses the gold, it turns pitch black and morphs into this massive, demonic bat that just latches onto her face, tearing at her. As she's screaming, a horrifying skeleton erupts right out of the depths of the well, grabs her, and drags her down into the darkness forever. I mean, wow, this entire horrific sequence really proved the raw, lethal power that Manoj now commands from that cave. Section 5. Bloody End of Karma. Because you know a debt like this always comes due. Think about the toll this takes over time. It literally rots Manoj from the inside out. Yes, he spent 20 years enjoying his immense wealth, but the dark magic has taken a brutal physical toll. By the time he's only 50 years old, he looks and feels like a frail 70-year-old man. He is just constantly weak and in agonizing pain. And eventually, the physical torture is just too much. It leads to one fateful night where he is simply too sick to go to the cave, effectively breaking the ironclad rules of the Kapali Aghori. So, because Manoj stays homesick, his sons, Mohit and Lakshman, are out in the courtyard talking about him. Now, they are completely clueless about his dark magic. They just assume his weird nightly disappearances mean he's hoarding some vast secret treasure away from them. But what they don't realize is that their little chat is being eavesdropped on by one of their own factory workers, a deeply greedy guy named Sunil. And here is where the cycle chillingly repeats itself. The setup is practically a mirror image of the beginning of our story. It's 11 p.m., Sunil, totally driven by the rumor of this secret wealth, sneaks through the window of Manoj's house. He's wearing a dark mask, he's carrying a knife, and he is creeping up on a sleeping, helpless victim.
In a brutal, almost poetic twist of karmic justice, Sunil strikes. He completely severs the sleeping Manoj's head. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. The exact same violent act that granted Manoj his unholy wealth 20 years ago is the exact same violent act that violently takes his life tonight. The circle is terrifyingly complete.
Sunil scrambles out the window, clutching Manoj's bloody, severed head, and he actually mutters the exact same delusion of grandeur that doomed Manoj all those decades ago. Now no one can stop me from becoming rich. He seriously thinks he's hit the jackpot, completely and utterly ignorant of the massive, dark, supernatural forces he has just violently tangled himself up in. Which leaves us with this final, haunting question about the true cost of unbridled greed. With Manoj's severed head now in his hands, is Sunil going to be lured into the exact same soul-crushing ritual? Will he become the next Kapali Aghori, bound to that dark cave for the rest of his miserable life? It really makes you wonder if the curse of wealth ever actually ends, or if it just patiently waits for a new master. Thank you so much for joining me on today's Explainer. I hope it leaves you thinking long and hard about the hidden costs of what we truly desire. Catch you next time.